What is up, breath of fresh air? I'm Patrick. I'm gonna be your host today, and I got a pretty interesting topic. A little late. If y'all been watching the show, y'all know what it's gonna be about. But before we do get into it, I got a job to do. But before I do my job, you got to do yours. Smash that subscribe button. Leave us some comments, feedback. Let us know what we're doing, good, bad, ugly. Don't matter. We're always in for the comments and always love the feedback. That being said, let's get right into it. Sarah Fuller, Vanderbilt Commodores, you're under the microscope. Let's get it. So, a couple weeks ago, we have watched history be made. To me, I thought it was pretty cool. Watching a female be the first female to play in a Conference 5 football game. Conference 5 is just your Power 5 with the SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, and Pac 10. So she's the first female to play. She didn't get much playing time. Vanderbilt could not move the ball at all. And she got to kick the one time. But a little bit of background information on Sarah Fuller. She is a soccer player. She's a soccer goalie for Vanderbilt. A couple weeks ago, won the SEC championship with Vanderbilt, beating two hard teams in number ranked 13th Tennessee, number 15th ranked Georgia, and I want to say, let me see where it's at. I got a couple of notes I'm looking at. And she beat Florida. Florida wasn't ranked at the time, but tough team. But with all that being said, she wins the SEC championship. Coach gives her a call, says, "Hey, you want to kick for the football game this weekend?" She says yes. She comes out, practices a couple of days. She suits up, miss number 32. All right. There's a couple of directions I'm gonna go with this. First of all, I want to talk about all the people out there, man. Look, she stepped out on the field. Let's go this direction first. She stepped out on the field. She did something courageous. I get it. I thought it was awesome. I would have liked to see her try to kick a field goal. Me personally. That being said, a woman out on a field with a bunch of men, I kind of disagree with it. Not being a sexist thing as much as I think it's just these men out here have been trained for 15 years to go at anybody and hit them like men. And not that Sarah Fuller couldn't take it, because she seems to be a very powerful and driven woman. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be sexist about the whole thing, but again, she's stepping out on the field with a bunch of guys, and the thing that has to go through a guy's head or a man's head at this time is, I'm going to go against everything that I've been taught for 15 years, and I'm going to pull up before I hit her. I don't think it's right I don't think it's right to have to put them in that situation. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a great step. And if women want to play in the sports with men, only thing I ask is this: train them. Men, we're trained when we're starting playing football. We learn how to accept hits. We know how to dish out hits. We know how to, there's a lot of angles that come with the game of football. I think it's cool that she was out there. I think it's a huge step in the women's empowerment movement. But again, it's hard to say that she deserves to be out there. Because I just didn't want to see her get hurt. That's the one thing, and you can't water down a sport because now you're having to teach people, if it's a male, hit them, if it's a female, you need to pull up. It just kind of waters down the sport. And but if you're willing to put a woman out there and she is willing to get hit and and roll with it, I'm all about it, man. And that's coming from a guy that was in the military who said if a woman wants to be out there on the front lines, let her be out there. I mean, it's her choice, and it's her country to fight for just as much as it's mine, and it's just as much as it anybody else. And women shouldn't be looked down upon because they're a woman. You know, so good for her. First of all, good for her. Way to step out there. Way to have the courage to step out there on a football field with a bunch of men and do your thing. I thought it was really cool. I watched that entire game just to see if I could see her kick a field goal. Vanderbilt just couldn't move the ball. Next thing I want to go over before I get out of here is the comments. Man, look, like I said, it's a hard sport to be putting a woman in. I get that, but some of these comments that I was reading on some of these social medias, man, was like, man, I hope somebody hits her and breaks her leg. I hope they give her a concussion so it teaches her a lesson. That's enough, man. I mean, that's too much. That's too much. You shouldn't be wishing anybody ill will on anybody. I think that's kind of ridiculous. To wish somebody get hurt just because she's a woman out there on a football field with a bunch of men, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. I mean, some of those comments were just flat out uncalled for, ridiculous, and no moral compass in people's mindset at all. Though I will have to say, I don't want her to get hurt, but she has to understand if she puts herself in that situation, things could happen, and if she's not trained properly, she could get hurt. But I don't know. It was just too much. It was too much for people just to see all the comments and all these little girls looking up to her. Women can do anything, and I thought that was really cool. To bring it down just by saying mean and comments like that just was ridiculous. Anyway, that's what I was breathing on. Smash that subscribe button. Like I said, leave some comment, feedback. Let us know what we're doing, good, bad, ugly. It don't matter. We're always ready. So, with that being said, I'm cutting out, but don't forget, start checking out those webcasts every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. And start getting us some shout outs and hitting them subscribe buttons, man. Anyway, y'all have a good rest of your week, and see you next time.